on till I get down these steps. I can just see it now.
I can too.
I'm on. All right. I want to call to order the July 30th meeting of the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. And the first item we have is items from the chairman. We have a resolution for a good friend of ours. Come on up here, Don. I'll ask the clerk to read the resolution, please.
Whereas the City of Oklahoma City owns and the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority leases the North Canadian River Corridor Recreation Area, which includes the Oklahoma River, and whereas the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority is a public trust of which the city is the sole beneficiary, and a goal of the River Trust is to promote economic development, tourism, and recreation along the Oklahoma River. And whereas since 1965, Mr. Douglas has served as a principal engineer in several local firms, including Russell, Gravelin, and Douglas, RGDC, and Triad Design Group, and he currently provides consulting services to Team Design. And whereas throughout his career, Mr. Douglas has provided civil engineering, architectural, and consulting services for various public and private sector clients in central Oklahoma. And whereas planning for major improvements along the Oklahoma River corridor began in the late 1970s. And whereas Mr. Douglas's work on the river corridor began with the String of Pearls Master Plan finalized in 1980, which envisioned a series of multiple themed parks along the river corridor in Oklahoma City. And whereas while the String of Pearls was never fully implemented, it laid the foundation for future development along the river corridor and was an important precursor to the MAPS era improvements. And whereas beginning with the original MAPS program in 1993, Don Douglas helped create some of the most iconic structures along the Oklahoma River. And whereas these include the 3 Oklahoma River dams, the River Sport Rapids Whitewater Center, the Bricktown Canal Zone G extension, the University of Oklahoma Boathouse Annex, and the Boathouse District Inlet Channels. And whereas Mr. Douglas also played a leading role in the design and construction of the Oklahoma River Cruiser Landings and Maintenance Facility, the Public Works Department River Maintenance Facility, the Meridian Landing Pavilion, and the River Park Equestrian Amenities. And whereas Team Design concluded their service as the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority's on-call engineering firm on June 30th, 2024. And whereas although their on-call engineering services for the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority have ended, Team Design is currently working on additional improvements along the Oklahoma River that are associated with the Icona development that include a lighted pedestrian bridge over the Oklahoma River, an additional low-water dam east of Eastern Avenue, and a new River Cruises landing area near Ocana and the First Americans Museum, complete with multi-level event and gathering spaces. And whereas throughout his service to the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority, Mr. Douglas demonstrated expertise in solving the unique engineering challenges of a controlled urban waterway and developed an unparalleled insight into the workings of the Oklahoma River projects, while helping city leaders develop functional, vibrant, and cost-effective designs. And whereas Mr. Douglas is renowned for his quality design of Oklahoma River improvements and his work to enhance the river corridor will be enjoyed by residents and visitors for generations to come. Now therefore be it resolved by the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority to hereby recognize Don Douglas for 45 years of service as a consulting engineer for the Oklahoma River corridor.
Need a motion on that resolution, please? And cast your vote.
Chairman, how would you like to vote?
Well, I don't know. I'm still kind of wavering on it a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. That passes. Congratulations, Don. Come around here so you can see the camera. You gonna say anything, or?
Let me have the mic. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the trust. It's been a long journey, but we had help, a lot of help along the way. Mayor Coates, when he created the trust, Mayor Norick, when he had the vision of the river and included in MAPS 1. We always thought the river would be popular. But when they took the vote or looked at the polls on maps 1, none of the propositions had 50%. Only 2 of the propositions had 40, libraries and the river. And we knew at that time that if we developed the infrastructure, development would come, and Mike has taken care of that. And so now we think we have the Olympics in 28, and it becomes important that we fund Public Works and JES to be sure that we can maintain the river. Again, it's been my pleasure and honor to work with the Trust on the Develop the River. Thank you all very much.
I don't think there's any question that the way the people are enjoying the river today is because of the activities that Don has done for the city along the river all of these years. It's phenomenal if you think back on it, and you read off what he's been involved with. Not many people in this city even remember the String of Pearls, but that, as we say, that was the beginning. But he's done a remarkable job, and he's always been there for the River Trust. He's done a lot of things for the River Trust that weren't necessarily part of his job, but he helped out with ideas and concepts, and it's really been a remarkable journey. I can't believe you started this right out of high school.
Yeah, just about.
But Don is a great integral piece of what's going on down there on the river, and we appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Don, just want to let you know you deserve all those accolades, and I've enjoyed all those times when we first started this. We were both pups. So, congratulations.
Are we done saying things about Don? Because I'd like to say something about Don. In my short 25 years with the city, and even before I was with the city working for a landscape architecture firm, Don's name was synonymous with the vision for implementing what Oklahoma River could be.
Right.
And through my service with the city, that has been a constant. And that's just one of the many legacies that you're leaving with Oklahoma City, because I know it wasn't your only project working on the river. But appreciate everything that you've done for that, and it's just amazing to see how far it's come. And like you said, hosting the Olympics is just one of the feathers in our cap, and we owe a lot of that to you. So thank you.
Do you have any other comment? Thanks again, Don. We appreciate that. And your lovely bride, Tiana's with you down there, I see. Hi, Tiana. Okay, moving on to item 3, the minutes from the June 18th meeting. Any changes or corrections? Cast your vote. And that passes. Item 4 is the consent docket. We have an oil and gas revenue report and a river corridor events update. Any questions? Your motion? Got your vote? That passes. Item 5 is the primary agenda items. Item A is a river project summary.
Good afternoon. Jeff Shumway, Oklahoma City Public Works. A few of the projects we have going throughout the month of July. We've recently received plans for the May Dam rehabilitation, and that's currently under review. The maps for pedestrian bridge and the First American Museum riverboat landing are currently under construction in the Eastern Basin. A work order was also issued for the vegetation control through the river, which is an annual contract. And our SCADA contractor also replaced and upgraded the lighting for the operational side of the boat lock, which allows the boat captains to be able to see the series of events that take place as they pull into the lock. And also during the month of June, the river crews removed 60 cubic yards of debris and started building a decanting site for dredging near the MacArthur and Southwest 13th location. With that, is there any questions?
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Need a motion? That's your vote. That passes. Item C is a resolution, back up. Item B is a presentation on the River Cruises marketing plan. If you remember last year, prior to approving the money for our participation in that, was asked if the couldn't bring forward the marketing plan to show how the money is kind of spent. So you're here today for that.
That's what I'm here to do. Yeah,
right,
good
very
afternoon. Jesse Rush, Assistant Director of Operations for Embark. I am here to present the Oklahoma River Cruises marketing plan. Before I do, I want to cover a couple of quick things. I want to do a couple of quick introductions. So in the audience, we've got Mark Andrews right there. He is our General Manager for HMS. And then sitting next to him is Marilyn Dillon. She is our River Manager. So with Embark, she's our River Manager on top of the other many hats that she also wears, managing our mobility program services. So before I start the presentation, I do want to take an opportunity to clear up some things, right? So the past couple of years, we've come to this board asking for the $25,000. That's the resolution that you have on your agenda today. It seems that there's been some confusion of what that $25,000 goes towards. So I wanted to hopefully clear that up today and then go into the marketing plan that we have here. So that $25,000, right, so that gets transferred to Embark. That money is used to fund employee time, right? So that's not there to pay for marketing materials, paper, computers, things like that. It's there to help offset the employee time, the full-time employees. So what I wanted to do is kind of outline what those FTEs do, those full-time employees. Before I jump into the marketing plan, I also want to give a shout out to our marketing team. Armando Reyes, he's our marketing manager. He would be here presenting this today, but he's actually in Texas at SWATA doing some training. And then our entire marketing team, I know Megan is back at the office watching right now, taking notes, so she can provide me some guidance next time I do this, so appreciate her doing that for us. So if okay, we'll jump into the presentation. So really kind of outline our overview of our marketing plan for FY25. So a couple of items that I wanted to address is our participation in the Oklahoma Baseball Club, our specialty cruises, our digital marketing, and then our public relations. And so with our Oklahoma Baseball Club campaign, we're really there to help promote the river and the cocktail cruises. I'm going to show a couple of examples of how we do that, mostly with our digital advertising, but we also have table campaigns, and a picture of that. An example of that is here in this slide. So we do that during 5 games, right? So we actually set up a table and present information about Oklahoma River Cruises and what the river has to offer. So the next couple of slides show some of those presentations at the actual ball games. So this is an example of the promotional item that's actually on the field billboard. So this is a promotional item for the Come Cruise With Us. Then the next slide there shows promotional for the cocktail cruises, right? So if nobody's actually taken a moment to go out and enjoy one of those cocktail cruises, I highly recommend you do that. It's very enjoyable. I mentioned Mark earlier. While Mark is general manager and is often a captain, you won't find anybody better at actually promoting Oklahoma City. And really highly recommend somebody going out and taking a cruise with Mark. Does a fantastic job. Next slide here shows some of those screen materials that you see inside the baseball stadium, also promoting the cocktail cruises. The next slide would show, we're actually going to start talking about some of the river items, right? So the next slide, next slide, maybe, there we go. All right, so this is our marketing strategy, right? So our audience, of course, is our past customers, as always. We want to make sure that we continue to get those folks to come back and use our services. Also our current customers, but of course we always want to make sure that we also provide that focus toward our potential customers, right? We want to get that new ridership. Some of those strategies, so we want to make sure that we drive consideration for the river cruises. A lot of times when people think about river cruises, folks automatically think about the Bricktown boats, right? So we want to make sure that people understand that difference. So while the Bricktown boats are awesome, great friends with the folks that do that, we provide a different atmosphere, just really a different atmosphere, right? So we want to make sure that folks know about that. And then, of course, we want to increase our market share. While folks know about the Bricktown cruises, our main purpose is actually public transit along the river, right? So if you think about all of our different landings along the river, we actually are a transit provider, right? So you can actually hop on one of the landings over there off of 15th and Meridian and come all the way down to Bricktown using our river cruises. So we want to make sure that we promote that also. So some of the ways that we do that, I'll talk about that in the next couple of slides. So some of those tactics, again, to promote the start of service and extended hours. A lot of folks don't know our service hours, so we want to make sure that we're promoting that, right? So we are not full season, so we do take an off period, and a lot of folks don't know what we do during that off period. So a lot of times we will pull boats out of the river and we'll refurbish those boats. So those boats are actually getting up there in the years, but they continue to meet that Bristol condition, which means they are top level, that's a nautical term, right? So they are top level when it comes to condition of boats. Of course, we want to place targeted digital media. That's where everybody's going nowadays with the digital media, and promote service through community calendars and online profiles. So our team are constantly getting out there and promoting all of the different services that Embark has to offer. And we also promote our river cruises in the Embark monthly newsletter, and then of course that community outreach, right? So that's how you really get folks come to use your services, by getting out and meeting with people, doing that in that community outreach. So a couple of examples here of that print advertising. So there on the left is an example of that went out in January, and then on the right there, an example that went out in April. And then I do want to take an opportunity to talk about this new promotional item that we just launched this year, so Third Friday Free, right? So if you think about our public transit services, we offer Third Friday free on our BRT, our streetcar, really our premium services, but we also offer that on our Oklahoma River cruises. This is the first year to do that, and so I wanted to throw out some statistics here. So in June and July, we saw a ridership increase of over 900% based off of these Third Friday frees. So July ridership went from 16 to 159 on that Third Friday. And then in June, we went from 40 to 179. So 900% increase with this promotional item. Just some examples of our digital marketing that are going out. Again, these go out on social media campaigns, things like that, Instagram, Twitter, all the different social media campaigns that we have our services promoted on. Next slide shows our public relations campaign, right? So again, we want to make sure that we're focusing on the current and potential riders. We want to generate increased exposure and visibility for the river cruises, and then the strategies, right? So we want to make sure that we are sharing newsworthy information about the Oklahoma River cruises, and then promote those special and promotional items, those cocktail cruises, those like the July 4th parade, those types of promotional items. And then, of course, the PR opportunities. So we're really excited about these upcoming PR opportunities. So News 9 has a front porch segment that's going to be coming out in August. America's Best Restaurants is actually going to be focusing or providing some information on Oklahoma River cruises. And then, of course, our Visit OKC digital cross promotion, and then the online article features. So that's our marketing campaign, right? But before I wrap up my presentation, I did want to take an opportunity to talk about the FAM landing, right? So I know everyone's very much aware of what's going on there, but I just wanted to show a couple of renderings. So this is a rendering of what the First Americans Museum boat landing is going to look like. It shows the area of impact that our construction project's going to have. So we're going to have the landing right there off of the river, just that little notch out off of the river where the boat will go and land. We'll have the upper area there for folks to get off the boat, mingle, be able to go to small events that are right there, and then we'll have that connection to the O'Connor Resort. And the next slide is just another example of that. So that wraps up the presentation. Be happy to take any questions, comments, concerns.
Any questions? Okay.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We don't need to accept that, do we? Okay. Moving on to item C is the resolution approving financial participation in the amount of $25,000 to the marketing plan that we just saw. We've done this as yearly and renewing it for another year. Need a motion? Cast your votes. And that passes. Item D is a revocable permit with Riversport Foundation for the Tri-OKC Riversport Challenge on September 6th through the 8th using the Boathouse District, Regatta Park, and the North River Trail. Any questions? Cast your vote. And that passes. Item E is a revocable permit with the Fallen Heroes Half Marathon Scholarship Committee for the Fallen Heroes Half Marathon September 21st using the South River Trail and Zone 3 of the River Corridor. Motion? Cast your vote. That passes. Okay. Item 6 is the claims docket. Any questions on the claims docket? Motion? Cast your votes. That passes. Item 7, comments from staff. We have the director's report.
Good afternoon, Melinda McMillan Miller, Parks and Recreation Director. It's good to see all of you again today. You'll notice in your report there's a very busy July, lots of things going on. David was extremely busy. But I also wanted, that's not in your report, but just to update you, there's been some further developments moving forward with the USS Oklahoma City Memorial there on Wiley Post Park North Shore. We're really excited as we keep progressing with them. A preliminary report went to City Council this morning as just to update everybody to get that preliminary report approved so we can move forward with construction drawings. And we continue to work with the USS Oklahoma City Committee on getting those improvements finalized and working together on all the funding to get it constructed on that North Shore. We're hoping to begin construction on that park probably about May, June or so next year. So, actually, no, that's not true. We'll start some construction this winter before we start next spring. So, any questions? Happy to answer them for you.
Any questions? I've sat in on the committee for that USS Oklahoma City, and I can tell you it's going to be a remarkable end to Scissortail Park down there. It's going to be really something that's we're going to be proud of down there. It'll be very nice. So looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Motion to accept that report. Cast your vote. That passes. Item 8, comments by trustees. I could be wrong. I don't believe the canoe events on the Olympics have started yet. I think it's either tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. Anybody know for sure? But anyway, when you get a chance, if you see on the schedule and see on the kayak and canoe, that's what we're proposing to have here in 28. It's remarkable, something really.
There's a great article in the paper today that explains the difference between the canoe and the kayak and the procedures. Everybody should read it so we can get ready for our own Olympics.
And Chairman, I think the kayak has already started because there was a person that was competing down here at our facility that made it, a woman that made it to the team. I don't think she's advancing, but at least she made it to the Olympics.
Right.
But yes, it's real exciting.
Yeah. It's something, the kayak cross, they call it, the one where they fall off of the board to race it. It's the only one where they're racing each other, not racing a clock, going down the course in the kayak and the whitewater course. So it's something to see.
I think those are going to be real fun to watch, and I was really surprised at how many events there actually are surrounding both of those. I'm excited.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, any comments from citizens?
No one signed up.
No? Okay. We are adjourned. Thank you.